Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nurillya Mysarah Binti Shahril. My matric number D3 2090 060777 and I'm from HF4B.
I'm Iffah Saqinah Binti Kamaruzaman from HF4B and my matric number D3 2019/060827.
I am Mohammad Nabil bin Mohammad Hanafiah from HF4B and my matric number is D3 2019 060208.
We are students semester 5 Diploma in Halal Food Service from College Yayasan Pelajaran Johor. And the main objective, we made this video for our group assignment in subject DCA 1093 Culture Studies. Today, we are going to talk about entities that shape culture, which is language. Okay, what is language? Language is a system of communication used by a particular country or community. In other words, language is what people use when communicate to the others. Language is very significant in culture of people in this world. Through language, one could be able to understand and notify from where the one who spoke come from. There are hundreds of languages will exist in the whole world. Each language was used only once by a certain group of people in a certain country. So, the language that we going to talk about is Indonesian language. The official language of Indonesian is known as Bahasa Indonesia. Indonesian is a standardized dialect of the Malay language that was officially defined with the Declaration of Indonesian Independence in 1945. Malay language and Indonesian language are the two languages are quite similar. They also have many regional language and dialects. Next, we go through to the history of Indonesian language. Bahasa Indonesian come from Bahasa Melayu, which is the root language of Malay and has existed for 700 years. Bahasa Indonesia find its roots in what is referred to as Market or Pasar Melayu or Trader Melayu, which were enriched with words of Dutch, Javanese, Arabic and more. During the colonial era, the Dutch East Indian Trading Company (VOC) adopted the Malay language as their administrative language since it was already so widely spoken in the area for trade purpose. When the Indonesian nationalist movement rose up to declare an independent nation in 1945, a national language needed to be found. It could not be Dutch, the language of the colonial oppressor, and it could not be Javanese because it had to unify all the islands and people of Indonesia. The young independentist movement soon settled for Bahasa Indonesia, which was already known to many as a second language, and they simplified and standardized it. In 1945, Bahasa Indonesian was born along with the new nation of Indonesia.
Have three functions of Indonesian language in cultural development. First, language as a cultural element. Every activity in human life has an element of language in it. Thus, to understand the development of a culture, it is first necessary to examine the development of language in its society. Second, language as a marker of social stratification. Language can show patterns of relationships and social stratification in a society. For example, in Javanese culture, children talk to parents using Javanese grammar, which is smooth language. Meanwhile, when talking to their same age, Javanese is moko, which is harsh language. Third, language as a symbol of tribal culture. Language can show cultural symbols in a nation. This is evidenced by the existence of dialects or dialects of various languages from various ethnic groups. This is due to the geographical difference and the stratification of the social environment between tribes in the lives of society. The conclusion is that the function of Indonesian is very important in the field of technological and scientific development because without the Indonesian language, technology and science in Indonesian will not develop. This is about its separate function as a supporter of the development of technology and science. Lastly, language is one of the most important elements that affect life and culture, as well as being the main means of human communication.
Now, we go to the types and example of accent in Indonesian language. There are many types of language available in Indonesia. Among them are the Betawi language used in Jakarta, the Sundanese language used in Bandung, and the Javanese language used in Jawa. An example of the Betawi language is "Encing mau pergi ke mana?" means "Where will you go? Go, uncle." And "Dagangan air udah beres dah" means my stuff has been sold out. Apart from that, an example of the Sundanese language is "Saha nami Anjun" means "What is your name?" And "Naon anu Anjun lakukan" means "What are you doing?" And finally, an example of Javanese language is "Hai piye kabare?" Wis manggen means "Hi, how are you? Have you eaten?" Okay, that's for all for Indonesian language, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.